Welcome back to BrewFix, where coffee meets craftsmanship. And today we're exploring something subtle but powerful. Why espresso often tastes better before you start analyzing it. Because the moment you begin measuring extraction yield, timing flow to the second, and mentally dissecting acidity versus bitterness, your perception shifts from experience to evaluation. Espresso is both chemistry and psychology, and while extraction depends on temperature stability, mineral balance, pressure, curves, and particle distribution, the human brain processes flavor through expectation, contrast, and cognitive framing, meaning the same shot can taste vibrant in one context and flawed in another, depending on what you're looking for. When you pull a shot and simply sip it, your brain integrates sweetness, aroma, body, and warmth as a unified sensory event, but once you start searching for defects, you amplify micro imbalances that might otherwise blend harmoniously, much like listening to music casually versus isolating individual instruments. The melody feels different when you're hunting for off notes. Technically, espresso is always slightly uneven in extraction, with fines over-extracting and larger particles under-extracting simultaneously. Yet the beauty of the beverage comes from this controlled chaos, producing complexity and layered contrast. And when you overanalyze each variable, you risk chasing mechanical perfection at the expense of sensory enjoyment. There is also a phenomenon in sensory science known as expectation bias, where preconceived notions about what a shot should taste like alter how you perceive acidity, bitterness, and sweetness. So if you expect flawlessness because your numbers are perfect, even a slight imbalance feels exaggerated. Furthermore, attention narrows perception. Focusing intensely on bitterness increases its perceived intensity, while relaxed tasting allows sweetness and aromatics to integrate more naturally. This does not mean precision is useless. Stable temperature, balanced water chemistry, and consistent grind distribution absolutely matter. But it does mean that espresso exists at the intersection of physics and perception. And once technical control is achieved, overthinking can introduce dissatisfaction rather than improvement. Many technicians and baristas fall into the trap of chasing incremental adjustments after reaching stability, tweaking grind by fractions and adjusting dose by tenths of grams, when in reality the shot was already within a delicious range before scrutiny began. The irony is that expertise sometimes reduces enjoyment because knowledge sharpens awareness of minor deviations. Yet true mastery involves knowing when to stop adjusting and start appreciating, understanding that espresso is a dynamic system where perfect uniformity is impossible and complexity arises from slight variations. Thinking about flavor engages analytical pathways in the brain, while simply tasting engages emotional and sensory pathways, and often the emotional response delivers a more honest evaluation of quality. The goal, then, is not to abandon precision, but to separate calibration from consumption. Dial in with discipline, then taste with openness. At BrewFix, we approach espresso as both engineered extraction and human experience. And once you recognize that the mind influences flavor perception just as much as grind size and temperature, you gain a deeper understanding of why the first sip often feels magical before the internal critic activates, reminding you that great espresso is not only measured in numbers, but felt in moments, keeping your systems controlled and your enjoyment intact.